Well, trade, investment, and overall ties between Western Australia and Indonesia continue to grow, but of course there's always more room for growth, and as part of that, the Deputy Premier of Western Australia is on a trade mission to Indonesia to further explore all those opportunities. And now I'm joined by the Deputy Premier of Western Australia, His Excellency Mr. Roger Cook. Thank you so much for your time and speaking to us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And welcome back to Indonesia.
It's great to be back. We keep saying this year that Western Australia is open for business and ready to reconnect. So it's wonderful to be able to come to Jakarta in 2022. My second visit to Indonesia this year to really open Western Australian conversations with a lot of businesses and governmental contacts.
That's great to hear. And has it been a fruitful visit this time? And just tell us maybe some of the things you wish to accomplish in your visit this time.
Well, this particular mission is about rebuilding bilateral relationships with government stakeholders, but also business stakeholders as well. So we've had the opportunity to meet with a range of people just about the opportunities as we go forward, particularly around the decarbonisation of our economies, the energy transition, and we're really looking forward to the partnerships that we can build around these issues.
Right, and as I understand, you're set to meet with the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce's Net Zero Emission Hub. What kind of cooperation will we see with the Chamber of Commerce regarding net zero and also just on renewable energies overall?
Well, Indonesia and Western Australia have many of the minerals and elements that you need to develop a strong battery energy manufacturing hub. And we think there's a lot to be gained by the strong collaboration between our two economies. Western Australia is the largest source of lithium in the world, and Western Australia provides over half of the world's lithium production to date. So we believe that there's a very important opportunity, not only to make sure that we can prosper from the economic opportunities that come from the energy transition, but also the opportunity to decarbonise our economies as part of a green energy future.
Right, and as you were speaking of earlier, Western Australia has a very large resource of lithium. Now, at the recent B20 summit, President Joko Widodo invited Australia to downstream its lithium in Indonesia. What are the chances of such a cooperation, Deputy Premier?
Well, I think there's plenty of opportunities around collaboration, informal agreements, but also formal partnerships around not just the supply of critical minerals and other elements of battery energy. It's also the opportunity to collaborate around knowledge and skills and building our capacity to understand what are the opportunities around a green energy future. One of the things we're very keen to discuss is how we can downstream process our own minerals as part of a value-add supply chain through battery manufacture here in Indonesia. So there's some important partnerships to be gained. Again, as I said, these are great economic opportunities, but more importantly, these are moral opportunities around addressing the energy transition that we all have to undertake.
Right, you're also speaking about Indonesia's electric vehicle battery industry, which we are developing. What are maybe some of the concrete cooperations that have been made or will be made between Western Australia and Indonesia in terms of Indonesia's electric vehicle battery?
Well, we look forward to welcoming members of the Green Energy Hub to Western Australia in the very near future to explore opportunities to cooperate, to make sure that in Indonesia they take the opportunity to invest in some of these lithium mine operations so that they can develop their own supply in relation to a lot of these things. So we want to make sure that we are a great partner with Indonesia around critical minerals and around battery manufacture. And Western Australia has a lot of the resources which we share with Indonesia in many ways, but of course we've got good supplies of lithium, and we want to be able to make sure that as a good partner and a good friend to Indonesia that we can have those conversations.
Right, of course you need lithium for electric vehicle batteries. So is this sort of vision for the cooperation more toward the minerals, or is there maybe any kind of further detail you can provide?
Well, we certainly want to be part of the value supply chain.
Right.
not only are we mining lithium at this stage, we are now part of the supply chain process, which means we are developing lithium hydroxide as an important precursor for battery manufacture. There are many players that are interested in gaining access to lithium, and we understand that that's obviously an aspiration that Indonesia has as well. And so we want to make sure that Indonesia has the opportunity to fully participate in our mining and resource industry as a potential customer, but also an important participant.
Do you have maybe kind of like a timeline on further concrete cooperations between Western Australia and Indonesia?
Well, we're looking forward to welcoming officials from the Indonesian government early in the new year. We're looking forward to having conversations with them. We want them to be active participants in our mine industry market and to make sure that they have every opportunity for that participation. So 2023 will be an exciting year. It's one in which we will open more, reconnect more, but also take forward these great opportunities that come from this close partnership.
Outside of electric vehicle batteries and such, what other cooperations are you looking at in terms of renewable energy, Deputy Premier?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of programs and initiatives that have been taking place, particularly in the context of the B20. We have companies like Fortescue Futures Industries that are looking to develop strong partnerships with Indonesian steel manufacturers, also Indonesian energy entities. So there's going to be multiple ways in which our two countries can interact as part of this energy transition process. This is a really exciting period in our times. We've got two great economies that need to transition to a green energy future as we develop policies that address climate change. And we want to make sure that we are standing with Indonesia as our great friends and partners as we cooperate on ways that we can move towards that direction.
We were speaking about renewable energies, of course, and Indonesia's new capital city, Nusantara. There's obviously a lot of focus on making it clean, green, run by renewables energies. Is there maybe any plan to invest or maybe cooperate on the development of Nusantara from Western Australia?
I know there's a lot of interest, particularly in terms of creating a new global capital city, which will be built upon all the latest technology and science and understanding about how you create a green, connected city. It's a really exciting opportunity, and I think it's captured the attention of the whole globe.
Right, so Western Australia has some interest in
Absolutely.
cooperation.
So we've got some significant significant members of our construction, civil engineering, design and architectural community, which I'm sure are very interested in the opportunities that will come from the development of this new global mega city.
Okay, now in regards to the B20 summit, which we had been discussing earlier as well, what are some of the perspectives from Western Australia of the outcomes of the B20? Do you feel that it was a beneficial summit and the outcomes from it as well to communicate?
Well, Western Australia had a very big delegation as part of a big Australian delegation. We hope that demonstrates how serious we are about strong economic cooperation and partnerships, particularly with our Southeast Asian neighbours, of which Indonesia is a crucial part. So we hope that people see Western Australia as a good partner as they look to Australia and other advanced economies in the region as ways that they can explore new opportunities. So Western Australia is and particularly Perth as its capital city, is the closest neighbour to Southeast Asia of any capital city in Australia. So we think it's a great place to begin that conversation for Indonesian companies looking to invest and export to Australia, because Western Australia is open for business. We're ready to reconnect, and we're really keen to make sure that we can build these strong partnerships, which is part of what this trade mission is all about.
Right, and some call this era the post-pandemic era, even though COVID-19 is still here. But pre-pandemic, of course, Indonesia was a very large market for tourism for Western Australia as well. And in terms of tourism, are there any plans to maybe further those cooperations?
It's a very important market for us. So Indonesia was the seventh largest tourist market for Western Australia. We had over almost 40,000 people that visit us in 2019, spending many millions of dollars, and that's obviously very important to our economy. So we want to welcome people back to Western Australia, and we already have, by September this year, around about 45% of our Indonesian visitors numbers coming back to Western Australia. And one of the things we've done on this trade mission is launched our new tourism campaign, Walking on a Dream, which is about showcasing everything that Western Australia has to offer. In a post-COVID world, we know people are looking for wide open spaces, clean environments, great unique cultural experiences, and of course, culinary and wine experiences as well. Western Australia offers all those elements, and so we think it provides a great opportunity for Indonesians to start exploring the world once again in this post-COVID world.
On top of that, are there maybe any sort of concrete cooperations that can kind of even facilitate even further, make it easier for Indonesians to visit Western Australia, maybe some cooperations with the government?
Yeah, one of the important things we need is better aviation links. Of course, we have over 45 flights a week between Perth and Denpasar as part of our great tourism industries. But we need more direct aviation links, and so that's obviously an important focus for me as the Deputy Premier of Western Australia.
Okay. Deputy Premier of Western Australia, Your Excellency, Mr. Roger Cook, thank you so much for speaking to us and your time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.